When I read the book Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers, she talked about a woman who was trying to call in her perfect partner, and she didn't understand why she wasn't in alignment with her partner. And so she one day was realized that she was always parking her car in the middle of the garage, and then decided to move it over to one side and then do other things in her home to basically make more space for this partner, like making space in her closet and sleeping on one side of her bed instead of the middle. And then Susan Jeffers goes on to say that this person then manifests her partner. So at that time of my life, I was newly divorced, and that was 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And I was thinking to myself, like, so it's as simple as moving a physical object and suddenly you get your perfect person. How does that work? Now, mind you, my headspace was very different at the time. It wasn't necessarily bitter, but I think it was in a very big questioning mode because a lot of me was wondering, like, what did I do, like, to put myself in alignment with someone where things didn't transpire the way that I was hoping for? And then I thought, well, so how do I make this better? Because that's just my thought process in general, is I'm always thinking, how do I make this better? So as I am on this 2 year journey of being single and doing a lot of inner work in myself, I have come to this place of feeling very whole in all that I am. And today, I was listening to a podcast because I never stop learning, and I love that about me. And if you're new here, my name is Bianca, and I'm a mindset and manifestation coach, the creator of the Intuitive Sparkle, and so happy that you're here. What I do is I help women to remove subconscious blockages and helps them to create a life that they love. Now, back to the story. So, as I'm listening to a podcast this morning, she says the same example about somebody who was trying to manifest a perfect partner and made space in her closet. And then, sure enough, within a certain amount of time, not so long after, she receives a perfect partner. And I'm like, wait a minute, what am I missing here? And then I recognize the biggest gap that I never accounted for when it comes to manifesting the perfect partner, but not only that, manifesting in general. It's the bridge of knowledge that I was completely missing. This part is feeling the feelings. So when we are calling in a perfect partner, let's stay on this example, right? It's about how we invoke the feelings within. So when we do something tangible in our physical reality, it allows us to not only experience it, but feel it. So one of the examples that was given in this podcast, outside of the woman making space in her closet, was also that she bought an outfit that she was going to wear when she was with her person on their very first date. And she was looking at that dress all of the time and kind of like just feeling all of the good feelings related to it. So she was using physical objects to then feel more into what it would be like when that part happened, right? Her meeting her perfect partner, or being with her perfect partner. And as a result of that, she then received. So why did that happen? Because when we are in the energy of something, we then receive an energetic match to that. The same goes for negative things. So when we are wanting to call in a divine partner, the love of our life, we have to feel what it would be like to be that energetic match. Meaning, if you want someone who is highly organized, who echoes back to you the things that you want to hear, or is, whatever the qualities or characteristics you are looking for, you have to be able to emulate that. So how do you do it? You look at not them necessarily being highly organized, right? Not necessarily you going and suddenly organizing your closet. I mean, absolutely, that is something you could do, but it's not an exact example. It's more about, what do you feel after that happens? You feel calm, you feel at ease, everything is going well. Like, clean house, clean mind, like that kind of mentality, right? So you want to focus on those type of feelings. So what are things that you can do to bring out those type of feelings? And in the case that I listened to in the podcast, it was perfect because she made space in her closet. She found the perfect outfit. And I think that there were a few other activities that she incorporated, but the point was that she was putting herself so much in the feelings, in the emotions of what she was going to feel when that partner did the things that she wants them to do, right? In a perfect person. And that put her in alignment then with a person who could provide that for her. And that's incredible. And am I saying that there's perfect people in the world? Absolutely not. But I think that you get where I'm going with this. We're talking about someone who is energetically matching what you're looking for. And so we're using the word perfect to be in alignment with that. So maybe you say, okay, but Bianca, I've tried all these different things and it doesn't work. When it comes down to it, we want to do this from a place of wholeness, meaning that we're not trying to fill a void. We're not saying, like, I'm lonely every day, so I want somebody to be here. When we're focusing on the feel good feelings on a constant basis, on a consistent basis, we perpetuate that more and more and more. It's like a muscle that you have to work every single day. So when we talk about getting back to gratitude, when we talk about really just feeling into the goodness of things or looking at the bright side of things. These are all practices that truly help you to get into such a feel good emotion frequently. And it comes with ease to the point where when something bad happens, you actually look at it from a more zoomed out like lens and you're feeling like, oh, like, I get why that person feels that way about that, but I also see the positive in it. And suddenly you're looking at things completely different. And that's incredible because when you start to notice those little beautiful nuggets in your life, like the change in your disposition, the change in your thought process when something happens that doesn't match what you used to think or do, and you're feeling really good about it, that's a sign that it's working. So I'm going to challenge you. If you are looking to manifest the perfect partner and you want to try and really delve into what it would be like to have that perfect partner and receive the love that they give, then these are different things that you can do to call that in by going into your closet and making room, by sleeping on one side of your bed, by buying that perfect outfit that you would wear on a date with them. Whatever the different things are. Maybe it's a perfect meal that you would make for them that day, or on a date, sorry, not that day, on a date, a movie that you would watch with them. You get my drift, right? So the point is to get yourself into it, to feel the emotions that are coming from it. And as you do that, you will notice that you're focusing less and less on the person and more on what you're feeling. And that is the secret. When we're not hyperfixated on what someone can do for us, but more so how we bring things out in ourselves, that is when you come from a place of wholeness instead of focusing on, oh, they're not here yet. Oh, I did this for 2 days and it didn't work. Ugh, every time that I try to put myself out there, I never get what I want. Those are all of the things that perpetuate the bad. So, what we want to think about is like when we're putting love into ourselves by doing these really, like, can feel a little bit silly of activities to call in the person that we're looking for. Like, we recognize just how much we're benefiting from it. So, this is your invitation to get Delulu, to do these really amazing things. And it's not necessarily saying, hey, go have dinner by yourself, but if you feel called to do it, go for it. But think about all the different things that you would want to do with that person or that you feel like that person could do for you, and then do it on your own and see what happens. Get into the feelings. Start to become more self aware of how you're feeling as a result of those things. And imagine them there. Imagine how you're feeling. Do the visualization work. This is so important. And most importantly, have fun and feel into the gratitude of it all. As you feel into all of that, as those emotions come out, you will see such beautiful, positive changes in yourself. And you'll be so grateful that you did this. So, thanks so much for being here today. I hope this helps. And as always, shine on, my friends.